Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you for checking out another episode of the show. Today's features my friends, Jesus Christ Supercar, returning back to the show to talk about their upcoming EP they're working on, what they've been doing during this whole pandemic and everything. And so hope you dig this one. Sit back and enjoy. I do want to remind you that Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Roughneck Beard Company and American Rambler. You can shop 24/7 at roughneckbeardcompany.com and use my code RPP15 for an exclusive 15% off your purchase. Free shipping on any order over $50, so keep that in mind while shopping. And check out their Roughneck Beard Batter, back just in time for the fall, restocked. And Roughneck Beard Batter is a perfect daily conditioner or after wash solution. Rub a dime-sized glob through your mane in the morning or after a shower and let the shea butter and hemp seed oil go to work. Helps prevent itching and dryness. So if your beard's been itchy, you need to check out Roughneck Beard Batter and all their wonderful products at roughneckbeardcompany.com. You got your beard oils and beard balms and junk powder, all sorts of different fragrances, products infused with all sorts of products. Whatever you're into, they've probably got something there to take care of you. So check it all out and tell them Shane sent you. Also, big thanks to Heil Sound for helping me make this show sound great. Visit heilsound.com today and pick yourself up a brand new microphone. If you need me, you can find me at rockpaperpodcast at Gmail, rockpaperpodcast.com, any of the socials, and feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you've been listening to, what you think of the show. If you have any guest requests or anything else, I would love to hear from you guys. All right, sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode with Jesus Christ Supercar.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
My name is Colin McCabe. Thank you for tuning in to Rock Paper Podcast here on National Public Radio. This has been an interview with Jesus Christ Supercar featuring Christopher Bachman on guitar.
Hi.
Colin McCabe on bass and vocals and synthesizer, and Tom Blood on drums. They are a cool band from St. Louis, Missouri. We're here in St. Louis, Missouri, sitting next to a boat with Shane Presley, and this is
We love you.
Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
I guess it's all you, Tommy.
Hey guys, here's a poem I wrote for Blue Skies. What autumn calm has come upon us? A gentle breeze, a break from societies. Another day it comes to pass. Will these blue skies last much longer? The take today, you found it here. The sun with rightful passage clear through our atmosphere, no interruptions. Should you come upon a clear blue sky, cease not your functions. A pleasant day lasts as long as one rotation. One will do. It will pass too, like smoke from a fire.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Shane.
You're very talented, Tom.
I love it.
This is Rock Paper Podcast hanging out here today with the guys of Jesus Christ Supercar. returning guest.
Heyo.
All right.
Enjoying these beautiful blue skies that Tom was talking about.
It is just a lovely day today.
Yep, nice fall day over here in Belleville, or wherever you're at, but that's where we're at. Took a little road trip, so
Thanks for coming out, man.
yeah, man, glad to be here back with you guys, hanging out. Got a nice tall, cold Mountain Dew ready to roll, and ready to talk some business. Because you guys have been busy, man. We got a lot going on for the band right now. We got a lot happening. I feel like we just hung out not all that long ago.
It was February,
but a lot of things had already happened.
I was trying to pinpoint when exactly it was that we were on here last time.
Yeah, we were hanging out a little bit before we came over here, and as Tom and I kind of got in the car to scoot across the river, we're like, what, man, was that really only like 7 months ago? Like, I don't know if it's the pandemic that makes everything feel like an eternity. But
what pandemic?
Christopher, I love you, but
Is something going on out there?
yeah, we're just locked in this garage with this boat.
I didn't think this house was a rock, Christopher.
But yeah, we've been trying to stay busy as much as anyone can right now. It's been challenging in its own way, but we've been trying to make it happen.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's really hard to stay busy as a band right now. I'm sure that you've had multiple people say that on your podcast lately, but it is really hard to stay busy right now.
right. Yeah, that's the thing. It seems like I'm just hoping that I'm sure you guys are. We'll kind of get into it for you guys, but it seems like being that we can't do shows, really, we can't, tour or do anything. I feel like a lot of people are just hunkering down and writing, and so I'm thinking 2021 could be a crazy year for albums and everything else. Everybody's going to have some huge new album, records and everything all coming out and stuff.
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, that's really all you can do, man. It's crazy to think about that. That we couldn't do everything that we anticipated to do this year. So
Right. Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate that the venues themselves are like the things that have been like really hard hit, and like those spaces are the places that we would play in this band, and there's things that kept going for sure. Like the music is still happening, but not on the same degree, obviously. So, but I don't need to tell anybody that. Everybody knows that already.
No, I mean, something to kind of throw out there is we're a very goal-oriented band. One of the things, when I was in college, I was getting a music industry degree, which sounds like a total bullshit degree. But one of my mentors and professors, his whole thing was constantly, it's like bands have to, you make difficult but attainable goals. And that's, I think we talked about it the last time we were on the podcast, but we always set these difficult but attainable goals. And at the beginning of the year, we reassessed. We're like, we're going to do this. This is what we're going to accomplish by the end of the year. And we had some cool stuff that was lined up.
Well, we really hit it hard, starting with the Art of Live show. That was kind of like, I hate to say it, but that was one of the peaks of 2020, and it was like the third week of 2020.
No, it was January 13th, baby.
Yeah.
That was January 13th.
Yeah.
Woo!
But, we, being such a goal-oriented band, this was such a huge shock for us because it effectively obliterated the possibility of us meeting the goals that we had set. And I mean, obviously, we just like so many other bands, even if they're not, necessarily exactly stating their goals for the year to each other and that sort of thing. Of course, we're like, yeah, we're going to play some bigger shows. We're going to do these sorts of things. But for us especially, it became, wow, every goal we set has been decimated. Like we had, number one, we had this big show with of Montreal at the Ready Room,
and Locate S1,
both cool bands.
She rules.
But they rest in peace, the Ready Room, and we also had the record coming out. We had Post Madonna that the last time we were on, we talked about. And
we were going to have a killer EP release show in the Barrel Room. It was going to be awesome.
At Alpha,
we had Alpha. We had Sister Wizard on the bill. We had the Free Years on the bill. It was going to be an awesome time.
Yeah, and the beer was coming out and everything. And then, that was so tricky because we had to really kind of communicate with Alpha. It's like, guys, we can't do a show. And we started... I will tell you, we probably jumped the gun a little bit, but then it ended up being a matter of like, no, it's not going to happen. But that was a big goal of ours, was to get this big show with the release and the beer and everything coming out, and then that couldn't even happen. And we did the stream, and that went over without a hitch, and it went over really well. It was successful, but as successful as a stream can be, playing to nobody.
It was weird.
It's weird. It's weird. It's
not
weird.
The same.
No. They had a few of the people that either work or invest with Alpha that were at the show, and that was that was fine, but there's 5 people in the room, in a giant barrel room that's it's almost a warehouse, and it was just... we
could have had 100 people in there, and...
Could have, yeah. I don't necessarily want to speculate about how many people were going to show up,
sure.
But it's still a matter of that it's a huge room that we'd created for this show for. And suddenly, instead of 3 bands, it was 1. It was doing a bunch of our songs and calling it a night, and it was, it's just bizarre. Everything's so bizarre, and we don't need to repeat that so many times because I'm sure that people have said it on the podcast already, and everybody knows it already. But it was for how goal-oriented we are, to basically be told, 10 days into March, hey, every goal you had for this year is impossible.
Right.
That was hard. That was difficult.
And also, every goal you want to set, you don't know if it can happen.
Yeah, we can't even set new ones.
Part.
Yeah.
So,
but you got to adapt. Got to find a way, and keeping busy is a big part of that. Continuing to write, just trying to respond, in a creative way. Just that never goes away.
Right.
Yeah, we need to do that.
It is nice to see now that we are to October that we're starting to see a little bit of a glimmer of hope with some of this music. Like, there are some things happening. The pageant just re-announced they're doing some distance shows with 300 cap in there. The Old Rock House, I think, is doing 50 cap listening room shows. And
sorry.
Colin's beer just exploded.
I'm sorry.
It's hilarious.
And then there's the lot happening out there by the ballpark, bringing in some groups to play outdoors like that, and those little social distance pods and everything. And
I think I've seen Heavy Anchor. I think some people have been doing stuff out by their movie projector too.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
So people are trying to adapt and figure out a way to safely do this, and coming up with some kind of ideas and stuff. So
the only thing that I always go back to, though, and I keep up with a lot of industry podcasts and that kind of thing, and the guy who founded Lollapalooza, he was on this one a little while ago. His name's Mark Geiger, and his whole thing is these drive-in shows, these social distance shows. As much as I think the lot is a really cool thing, I think that they are adapting what happens when it gets cold.
Right.
This is a stopgap measure, and while we appreciate the stopgap measures, and I'm sure, I'm going to go to that John Henry show at the pageant for 2 reasons. 1, I love John Henry, and 2, I love the pageant, so you can't lose.
And you got the Sleepy Rubies on there.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
So good.
And if you haven't checked out the new John Henry album, it's pretty dope. Mine just came in the mail, actually.
It's excellent. But... and shout out to him too for playing us the other night on KDHX. Yeah. But he, it's just there's a lot of stopgap measures we can take right now, but you're still stuck in. Once it's cold, you can't. If it's 30 degrees out, it's not just that people won't sit out there. It's that how hard it is to play guitar when it's 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, I want to quote or at least paraphrase my friend and compadre Neil C. Luke in saying that the rubber's really going to hit the road when we find out which places can make the heat lamps happen.
Yep.
Right.
Across the board.
Right. Yeah.
So it's tricky. I went and saw Tom's other band the other night, LS Express, over at 9th Street.
Rockin' and rollin'.
We had a blast, but it was arguably just warm enough out on that patio. Like, you lose another 5-6 degrees, and it's too cold.
And
to
I'm
be out.
lucky because I'm playing the drums, so luckily I don't have to, have like the articulation of my fingertips at my disposal. But
I wasn't even playing, and I had a cold beer in my hand, and suddenly it's like I can't feel my hand.
Right. That's kind of funny. The only live music I've seen in the past 6 months is Tom with DCR,
Daniel
with Daniel
C. Roth,
Roth,
baby,
because
over at Hemingway's.
I saw them play at Hemingway's up in O'Fallon. Like, that's funny. Like, the only live music I've seen has been outside on a patio. That night it was ungodly hot. Because that was
true.
like 2 months ago.
It really was.
Oh, it was swampy.
It was hot when you showed up, and it was even hotter when we started playing.
Oh yeah.
So, and setting up for that gig was a blast. As a very person who's inclined to perspire, that was I might as well have just like exited a swimming pool, basically.
Well,
it was a
Shane-
swampy hug.
Yeah,
Shane,
but
with
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Shane, with you at even over at Broadway, are they doing live stuff right now at all?
No, I've been furloughed since March from there, and
I
then
apologize, my bad. Sorry.
I mean, I have my full-time job. That's more of for fun,
Yeah.
Like it was extra income, which is always good. But like,
Yeah. What was the last live show you saw?
I'm just fortunate that I didn't rely on that, So, but like some people lost their everything. But
Right.
last live show, I don't know. Well, I just went to one last night. I guess that one. So yeah.
I hope you wore a mask.
Nope.
Oh, come on.
We're sitting 6 feet apart, so I'm
Yeah, we
cool.
are far enough apart for those listening at home.
Well,
And using our own microphones.
That is true.
this I mean, like it was out there in St. Peter's in St. Charles County, Missouri, and they're not enforcing anything with the mask.
It's the Wild West out there, man.
Yeah. But it was a big old venue, and a lot of people, have plenty of room to space out whatever they want to do in there. So,
Was it a diamond?
yeah,
Right on.
it was fun. It was a good night,
Nice.
and I got some pizza.
Right
So
on.
it was,
Ooh, I do
was
like
a great
pizza.
yeah,
Pizza.
Anytime pizza's involved.
yeah. Rockstar Taco Shack. They got a new location there in Diamond Music Hall, and
I heard they got D's Nuts or something like that too now, right?
Yeah, they
What? No, there's a whole company that makes like special like seasoned nuts. I think they're called D's Nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm an adult.
I wasn't even making a D's Nuts joke.
Yeah. Well, it's his name. It's Scott Davis, who was kind of started the thing, and he goes by Rock D. Is a lot of time, because there was like another Scott in the band, so he started becoming Rock, and then the D for his last name, and then so Rock D's Nuts, and so that's really where it's at.
Right on.
But yeah, he so the Rockstar Taco Shack now has pizza. I think it's Dano's Pizza, but they started doing like this nacho pizza.
Ooh, I want that.
I do
yeah,
too.
so good.
That sounds real good.
Yeah. But well, anyway, I guess since we last spoke, guys, we have released a brand new single to the world, and this song is called "Do You Think I Could?" Dropped the beginning of September, right?
It did. Yeah. It dropped about a week before we launched the Kickstarter for the EP that it will be on. Yeah, Do You Think I Could was That was one of these. We're always really collaborative. Outside of the first few songs that we really had, which were all demos I wrote when I moved back to St. Louis in my parents' basement with a lot of amps and being very annoying. Outside of those first couple of songs, everything we've really written has been super collaborative, except Do You Think I Could?
It's true. Colin kind of came in and said, here's a sweet tune. And we're like, right on.
Yeah, it for whatever reason, it was, I think I was procrastinating with law school, and I'm like, I'm going to write a song tonight. And I just somehow got the whole thing together. I don't usually succeed in writing an entire song in one evening, but
he presented it to us very much in a completed fashion.
yeah. That song's cool. It was, it's this like big riff, especially on the chorus, but we kind of leaned into this idea. I wrote it with this idea that I would do falsetto almost the entire song, and I brought it to the guys and was and it said,
Is this ridiculous or not?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really think I should do this.
And Tom and I immediately were like, no. This is the move.
Speaking from a personal taste level, I'm a big fan of ridiculous things.
Well, we kind of lean into that with our band. I mean,
you got to push things sometimes.
One of the things we've kind of been doing with this new record we're working on, but also even just with the single and with the end of the last record, the last couple of songs we worked on with the last record was let's lean into this whole glam thing. Like, let's kind of, let's do that. And I bought some sparkly silver boots with a lightning bolt on them.
They're pretty dope.
They are fake snakeskin, and they are amazing. But it's
just new boot goofing.
New boot goofing all the time, but
I love it.
But I brought this song to the guys, and I'm like, oh, it's all. I think I want to do all falsetto on it. Bringing that idea with them to them, hopefully, I was hoping that they would say absolutely not, and instead they did the exact opposite. And they're like, no, we are going so hardcore on this falsetto. And even like as we were doing pre-production for the EP and for the song, bringing it to our producer, I'm just like, I really just don't think we should do this. And even he was just like, nope,
we're doing it.
Too late. Like
it's happening.
Yeah,
it's happening whether you like it or not.
Oh, honey, you know what I can do.
So
And that's kind of been one of our goals too, is to kind of push our sound wherever it may go.
yeah,
And I feel like we've done a really good job of establishing our sound, especially compared to 2 years ago when we first got things rolling with this too.
well, when we first got things rolling, it was a little I don't mean to call us ripping off other people, but we leaned a little too hard into our influences, and I think with
You got to start somewhere.
well, everybody
Yeah.
does. No band starts without aping their influences a little too much, and we did, but we've spent a lot of time really digging into what we think we can branch out of those.
Right. One of my favorite things that we do as a band is the creative process, where we'll just like go out whenever we can to just write songs for a weekend and just work out some riffs. And
It always seems to be in the snow in a cabin.
snow
Twice
no other way to do it.
Snow
Twice
has been
now.
around. But that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to, like in like coming months. Even after the Kickstarter, after the recording process, just to keep things rolling and keep writing songs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I really dig this tune. I like the like you guys are talking about the falsetto, and that's definitely the first thing that catches my attention, and because it sounds different than the other stuff. So that's like that's the biggest thing I know. It's like, but it was just a lot of fun to. It's a catchy tune, gets stuck in your head, and you want to repeat it, and it's a lot of fun, man.
That's a big thing. We're kind of I know I mentioned leaning into the glam aspect, but a part of glam is the theatrics, but the other part is it's fun,
Right.
and you want to be able to groove and dance or whatever, but it's not just being sort of. I'm going to use theatric again, but it's not just being that. It's also like, let's do whatever the hell we want and it'll be fun. Like, and singing a whole song in falsetto every night that we play is, it's fun. It's like, I've been in a lot of bands where it's just like, I'll sing a little bit like this. And then I'm just like, no, I shouldn't do that. But it's usually harmonies. But this time it's like, nah.
And we've received great feedback on it too. Like when we played it live, people were like, "What's that new one that Colin was singing like really high on?" And we're like, "Do you think I could?" And they're like, "That's really cool." And we're like, "Right on, right on."
The whole thing about it in the song is this pretty. I mean, this standard, just like you meet a woman and it's like, do you think I could? Like, do you think that we could make it happen and that kind of stuff? But it's a the idea around even just the song when we even started as a band and we were rehearsing over at Utopia for those first few months, we I would always post pictures, and I came up with the title of it way before I came up with the song. It was always just like
A row of amps.
a row of amps, and do you think I could? It's like, do you think I could what? It doesn't really matter. Like, let's just write something that's fun and you can sing along to it and have a good time. I don't know. I don't want to be a party band. Like, I've never wanted to be a party band, but that is like our most party band song, even with the huge riffs. So,
Yeah. But you can find that on Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you're getting your digital music at today. But you were saying that's going to be the first single from the upcoming EP. Is that correct?
yeah.
Yep.
We're working on a record right now, named very lovingly after my car.
Ooh, speaking of cars,
Not that car that you may have heard in the background.
That was awesome.
That
though.
was
That
like
was sweet.
Pretty perfect sound drop right
But
there.
yeah, but no, I recently bought a turbo diesel, and so we are naming the EP.
Turbo Diesel.
Yeah.
just leaning into the car thing.
No, you got to do it. Your band name is Jesus Christ Supercar. You got to lean into it a little bit. We have car puns.
We've got to, ultimately, I think one of the big goals for this band is going to be tricking the algorithm to suggest Jesus Christ Supercar instead of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Well, it's great because I might have mentioned this last time. Occasionally, we'll get like a random like on Facebook of like Father Matt blank blank liked Jesus Christ Supercar, and it's like I don't think he meant to do that.
I'm pretty sure
but I'll
bottom,
take it.
at the bottom of the Kickstarter page, if you look at the related funded projects,
It's all religious stuff.
based. Yeah, it's all stuff that specifically Christianity. But am I really surprised? Granted,
We knew what we were walking into.
our algorithm adventure in really just shifting up that one thing. No, I'm not surprised.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, turbo diesel. We had a bunch of other ideas, and then it kind of leans again into the whole glam and slightly theatrical thing. But we talked with our producer about it, and it's we have these other ideas, but then there's also turbo diesel, and he.
He's like, well, I don't even want to hear the other ideas.
That's exactly it. He's like, I don't even care what the other ideas are. We're calling it turbo diesel. And so that's what we did. And yeah, I mean, we're just going to lean into it. It's kind of been, it's the same thing when we started the band and we got matching white denim jackets with back patches and all this other stuff. It's we're going to pick these almost silly things and lean into them completely seriously. Right. Everything is a half joke.
And it's all part of the fun.
Yep.
And that reminds me of that KDHX quote from when we played the RFT Fest last year. Somebody wrote for RFT, I couldn't tell if these guys were taking themselves seriously or not seriously at all.
Yeah, no, it was way too seriously or not seriously at all. And honestly, I can't either. That's the way it is.
That's what we are.
That's everything that we do is, do we take ourselves way too seriously? Maybe.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I said it last time, but it's still the case that the number of amps in the band is greater than the number of people in the band.
And it shall always be this way.
Yes.
I don't see
we're
that
working on
soon.
more amps, actually.
It's true.
Well, So turbo diesel is the idea. Right now you guys have a Kickstarter up there,
yes.
Kickstarter.com, and fans and friends and family, everybody, whoever's listening to this, you can get involved today with this project and help create it to be all that it can be. And we got all sorts of options where nice little perks that you can receive along the way if you want to back this project and believe in it, and where you can even have Jesus Christ Supercar come play a little house party kind of thing or something.
Do it. Colin's going to pull up the rewards here while he's pulling it up. This whole project started with how can we find a new way to fund what we are doing? We typically would rely heavily on whatever funds we would receive from gigging or selling what little merchandise we have. And without shows, we do not have that. So we were looking very hard at how can we continue to fund our creative outlet, while also engaging and involving the people who care about us, our fans, So enter Ben Mazak from Native Sound.
Shout out to Ben.
He's
big shout out to Ben.
We love this guy. So we started this Kickstarter campaign with Native, looking at not just for Jesus Christ Supercar, how can we create something new? We're just kind of the test model for something that could be great for any band.
Yeah. Ben's whole thing when he brought this to us, actually, and he brought it to us while we were doing the live stream for the release of our last record back in May, and the beer and everything was, it's not just us that's hurting. It's not just musicians that are hurting.
It's everyone.
Ben runs a studio.
Yeah.
Without band income, sure, it's easy to record at home. That doesn't mean that it's your best option. And Ben's whole thing is, let's create a model. And it's based off of a couple of other studios models, particularly, I forget which one up in Boston that he's been talking to, but they the goal is, let's keep options open for these bands, for them to make a super clean, awesome studio level record. And so we are the guinea pigs for this model for Native Sound. And we love Native. They rule. We love being there. But they're changing, not necessarily 100%, but they are leaning into this model where every record they make is going to be funded this way. And they've been managing the Kickstarter for us and are effectively saying we can help these bands get the funds to do these records and to make this happen in a way that benefits everybody.
It's a win-win model.
It's a win-win-win because the fans get more music, the bands get to make more music, and the studio gets to stay alive. They get to keep making music as well. And it's an awesome model. It is so cool. But it's especially great for us being the guinea pig. We get to really push out this thing that we're working on. And I mean, it's been pretty successful so far. We got a little ways to go, but I'm confident that we'll get there.
But we're nearing $3,000.
Yeah.
But like you said, we still got a long way to go.
Right.
But at the same time, this whole model that we've worked, in collaboration with to kind of push, we've seen nothing but like positive feedback from it. And like Ben has made this very clear, and we're very honored to be the kind of guinea pigs for it. This, like Colin said, this isn't just for Jesus Christ Supercar.
Right. No.
This is for every artist in St. Louis.
Yeah.
How can you fund your new project without an income? Let's work and move forward in this manner. And it's been a great experience so far. We've gotten a lot of love from the people who love us. We've gotten love from people who we didn't know loved us. It's been really cool to kind of see who thinks we are worth backing. Yeah. And that's kind of the ultimate goal is we want to create a product that people feel invested in, that they feel a part of. Because it's not a donation. You are contributing, you are being a part of this new project, which is what we definitely want to stress.
It is, I don't know what else to say there other than what Christopher said, is that it's not just about us. This being successful leads to Native being successful with these other projects. And
I want that personally to happen so bad because Native is a great studio. Just like having worked with David Beeman as well over at Native. It's always been a great experience over there.
And it was really awesome. When we went in to record Do You Think I Could, it was totally COVID conscious.
Mm-hmm. That's true too.
Like I was very apprehensive about going into a studio where, ample musicians kind of come into. They made a very clean environment that protects us. It protects whoever the producer may be, and it also I felt very respected, in a COVID world. Some people kind of give you shit for, following the rules. They want to follow the rules. We want to follow the rules. They created a great environment for a safe recording experience, which we very much appreciated.
Yeah, I'm a high risk individual. Mm-hmm. So it's something that I'm wary of, and it's something that everybody wants to be wary of. It's not just a matter of that they are. First, it's amazing that they are creating this opportunity for bands to continue to make very high quality records, but it's also they're conscious of everything that's going on, and they are going to keep everyone involved safe. And yeah, I'm
also, they just got a Neve console, which
is badass.
If you know anything about recording, I like it a lot. It's pretty awesome. So yes, just super proud that while they're continuing to grow as a studio, we can grow as a music community with them. And that's kind of what it's all about.
I think that's the big thing to stress, is that it's not this project being successful, while maybe to the outside eye seems like it's only about us making this record work. This project being successful solidifies that this model will work for Native Sound. And I want it to work for Native Sound as much, if not more, than I want it to work for us, because I love working in that studio.
Nothing would make me happier than having this be a tenable model for multiple different types of recording artists, and also, and one could hope even like that could extend into other avenues of like the art world, like if if there needs to be some like funding for like somebody's like visual art or whatnot, I think there's a lot to be said maybe for the model itself, and I really hope it works out, not just for us but for as many people that try to do crowdfunding measures.
Well, and that's another note too. Is crowdfunding is nothing new. This has been around for the better part of a decade, or a decade. I mean, I think Kickstarter launched in 2009, right? This isn't a new idea, but it is an idea that can keep this. I don't want to call St. Louis's music scene a fledgling scene, but it is in a way. It's a way that this city can keep the music going and alive and working that we might not be able to do with the lack of shows, with the lack of. It's hard to sell merch without shows. It's hard to do anything without shows. That it's such a huge piece of the music industry and of marketing your music and marketing your product and image and whatever you want to say you're marketing. Without being able to gather, you can't. The industry doesn't work.
You can't push a product without people.
Exactly. And
plus, I also like to think that, if a band were to try to do something that we're doing right now in this COVID era, like while out of it, like in the future, like that this model itself could be something that bands just kind of do, I think that would be amazing, because then you'd have the ability to directly interact with your fan base during live shows, saying like, hey, we're doing this crowdfunding measure for the next recording, and anything that you can do will help it make happen. So,
and like Colin said, we have a long way to go, and we just posted this the other day. But basically, while we have a long way to go, if everybody who liked us on Facebook donated $10, we would well meet our goal. We would surpass our goal. So we want people to realize it's not just like you don't have to contribute 50, 100, 250, 500, 750. Our higher end, obviously, rewards, I think are worth it. But
I think so too, Christo.
Yeah, every bit counts. We cannot do this without everybody's support. From the $5 to $10 to $15 donations, we can't do it without that either. We need people on every end of the spectrum just who believe in us to say, hey, I believe in you. I want to be a part of what you're producing. Because again, I want to stress this too. We're not looking for handouts. We're looking to provide you with an experience to contribute to the EP itself and to, gain the rewards that we have to offer too.
Right. Plus, it's also, I feel like it's just good to continue to be a band in the fashion that we are a band during this time, and or just really in general, just to say that continue with your creative endeavors. Work with the people that you work with in order to make things happen, and just keep making and keep doing things.
Yep. So we got a lot of options for ways to donate, obviously, or to contribute to this. And you can even get us, like I said, as simple as $10. Or whatever it is, but you can get a copy of the EP. You can get a house show. You can go bowling with the band. You can we get the beer. We got the
Yeah.
Alpha beer.
Which, if you
Second
haven't
run.
tried, if you haven't tried yet, it's so good.
It's amazing.
By popular demand, it was requested to be returned.
Yeah, no, that's actually like I want to laugh at that, but it's
True.
They put it out as a limited run when our EP came out, and then it sold out so quickly that they're like, we're gonna keep this. So
If I'm not mistaken, also I believe it's in rotation at Alpha Brewing Company itself. Is it?
yeah, it's on tap.
I believe it's on tap. So, yeah.
So again, check out Kickstarter.com for all the options and way you can be part of this project.
Yeah.
And getting plugged in. I know as a fan, like, you know, I enjoy this kind of stuff just to be a part of it like that, like in getting nice exclusive perks and rewards for it. You know, whether it's a T-shirt or even, you know, whatever, you know, just like something. But like I've done some like where you back it and then like they have like which is one of your options, a listening party where you get to actually you know, hang out with the band and stuff and have more of those kind of, you know, exclusive interactions like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got stuff. I mean, even just as low as $10. It's you know, I spend a lot of time branding this band and creating for this band, and so
Props.
as low as thanks. As low as $10, you know, I recreated our logo and all this stuff with the Kickstarter green, and so you'll get special stuff with that shows that you were a part of that. But then, you know, you start $15, you get a digital copy, etc. Once you get up to 25, you're into the digipack, you're into a physical one. Once you get up a little bit further, you know, you get both of our records that we've got out, plus the beer, plus one show passes for when shows eventually come back, which they will.
They will.
It's not happening right now, but they will. The listening party, obviously, our social distance bowling. We just recently did a whole photo shoot at one of my favorite places on the planet, Saratoga Lanes in Maplewood. You know, we'll go there. We'll hook you up with a bunch of stuff. We'll hang out. We'll roll. No one will beat me. I am very good at bowling.
It is true.
And
Hey, don't catch me on a good day, is all I'm gonna say.
I haven't seen one yet, but
Hey now.
I'm sorry, if you can bowl an 85, you can beat Tom. So
That's a bad day.
Yeah.
That's a bad day.
what's a good day? 86?
I think you mean 286.
I don't. But I mean, you can get as far up as hanging out with us at the very well COVID-equipped studio while we make the record. And, you know, I mean, I'm not going to lie. If you got some sort of great idea for something that we should put on the record, maybe that means you get a producer credit on a song.
I'll throw it on there if it's worth it.
I'm
yeah,
open
you
to
know,
it. I'm.
you know,
you'd be
it's-
surprised how much I'm open to.
The one thing I will say is that people don't quite realize what a day in the studio looks like for most bands. They think that it's just like, let's just drink a bunch and record a bunch of songs.
Which is
And
part of it.
That is, yeah, which is part of it, sure. But it is, being in the studio is a lot more tedious than a lot of people realize.
It's true.
It's a lot of. I mean, it's good to
cool
pay. You want people paying attention to minute
yeah.
details and things like that. You know.
I do think that for people who have never been in that sort of situation, it would be a really cool experience. And if you have the change to drop on it, by all means. But it's you'll learn some things. That's probably the best way to put it.
Very true.
But
Well, let's talk about October 8th. You guys are doing a St. Louis public radio live stream, right?
So
This is
pumped.
true.
I love NPR already, and it's going to be just the biggest honor to be on NPR. So excited for that.
well, Tom, I do want to clarify. We're not going to be on NPR's radio station.
No, it's it's the local
It's
station.
yeah,
Right.
but it is a. What's cool is
As if I didn't know already.
yeah.
Come on now.
St. Louis Public Radio is doing this series of house shows, and it's called a house show. But what it basically is they have a Twitch channel that they do a show from every weeknight at 8 p.m. And Thursdays, since the pandemic has hit, really since about June, they have been dedicating Thursday nights to having artists come on to the show and play a 30-minute set. And so, we did the live stream back in May, and that we did through Facebook, and mostly Facebook. It was on YouTube and that kind of stuff too. But but STLPR does theirs on Twitch, so that'll be really cool. We're gonna stream from Native Sound, which I'm really excited about. I just love being in that space.
Same.
But so we're gonna stream a whole set live from there via STLPR, and it'll be really. I'm just really excited for it. I hate to say that it's, oh my god, I get to play a show, but it is an oh my god, I get to play a show.
Well,
moment.
I mean, especially for this band, because like I've definitely played a couple shows here and there that have just been like out at bars, like outside, but I think this is just going to be a different caliber of fun, if I may say so.
Yeah, coming from I used to play 2, 3, 4 shows a month between different groups, and I know, Tom, you've been in a buttload of groups too.
Well, but Christopher, you're also in the
4.5.
union. Like,
Yeah. And like whether it was a union gig, whether it was a gig with Supercar or some other group that I was in, I was gigging all the time. And like I'm very fortunate enough that wasn't my primary source of income, but mentally and kind of like internally, like I am dying to play shows. I am so ready to play something. Yeah. So the fact that we get to do this with each other, with an air quotes audience, and air quotes, with my best buds in my favorite recording space with some righteous gear. More amps than people. I'm all about it.
I honestly am tempted to show up there with or on Thursday and literally just bring every amp I have, and
we'll plug in all the studio amps.
The beauty of being a Native is they have tons of extra split pedals, so I'll just like split it through 10 amps and just like go for it.
They'll hear it at the space station.
We're gonna find out exactly how many amplifiers are too many amplifiers.
Honestly, you want to do that, Christopher? Let's do it.
We won't tell them though. We won't tell Ben at Native.
No, we'll only mic 2 of them each, but I'm gonna text him right now. Can I bring 10 amps?
What are you gonna do? Say no?
Yeah, he's gonna say no.
But now we're really excited to play. It's one thing to rehearse in my basement. It's another thing to kind of like, have the stream going and to see X amount of people are watching. We might not be able to see you, but that means so much to see you out there. It means so much to see you guys contributing. To see you guys contributing to our EP. It just means so much to know there are people who care about us still amongst a global pandemic. It just means the world to all three of us.
Amen.
Yeah, man. Well, again, Kickstarter.com to pledge to back the Turbo Diesel EP, October 8th, Thursday night. Head on over to STLPR Twitch and catch that.
It's twitch.tv /STL Public Radio.
There we go.
So it's twitch.tv /STLPUBLICRADIO. I won the spelling bee once.
I'm a robot. I'm talking like a robot.
And you can
I know the letters and words.
And you can head over to Alpha Brewing here in St. Louis and pick up 4 packs?
Yeah.
4 packs of our beer, Divine Intervention. It is a tasty blood orange blonde.
It is muy delicioso.
Indeed, con fuego.
Yeah.
It's to quote I think Drew Schaefer, a beer I'd take on a float trip.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think that might have been Neil as well.
Neil?
That might have been our second Neil paraphrase of the day.
Regardless.
But we could always use more.
Doesn't mean it's not true.
Yeah.
It is a very good beer.
It's
Ruby, I love you too. It's okay.
We advocate for it, even though our name's on the label. I'd advocate for it even if it wasn't. It is a solid, delicious,
tasty.
refreshing, tasty beverage.
us having a beer is such a ridiculous thing.
I love it.
I don't know if we
Also,
talked about it the last time, but
we've got to shout out to Benjamin Luchek for really, actually, factually making that happen by
For
suggestion.
making the joke.
Well,
Yeah.
we did some pictures in Alpha's barrel room for an article in Bands Through Town. Shout out to Corey Weaver, who is
The man.
a legend. But we did some pictures in there, and we posted one of them. And Ben Luchek there, he commented on it on the internet. It was all, so you guys are going to do a microbrew too? And then,
So I tagged the owner of Alpha, and I was like, "You want to make it happen?"
and lo and behold,
We made it happen.
Hells yeah.
So yeah, we have a beer with our. I got to design a beer label. That was a lot of fun.
Tom got to do the write up on the side of the can.
It's true. I don't just write poems.
Yeah, he writes lots of things.
My only
Yeah.
contribution, I think, was can we make it blood orange?
Yeah. Well, we wanted to call it something else. which I
Tom
won't
Blood
say
Orange
here,
was
but
on the list of titles, but
yeah,
you know, what are you gonna do?
But yeah, pick up a pack today.
yeah. That's going to be around for a while. So they knocked it out of the park with that. We didn't have a lot of input on the creation of the beer. Sort of just the idea of
the
it.
blood orange.
But man, they nailed it.
They
nailed
knocked it out
It's
of
true.
the park.
It's true.
I just think it's a cool idea because obviously, Alpha has a lot of traffic besides the, people that are going in there to
But
buy.
it's got some good beer, man.
Yeah, but I'm
you know?
saying like people can still pick up the beer and like, who's Jesus Christ Supercar?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's good advertising for
Yep.
you guys, regardless if they've heard of your music or not. Maybe they'll look it up after they buy the can or whatever, So,
Oh yeah.
So it's cool to see. It's fun for all you guys, the fans and everything. But hopefully people are discovering more great local music because of it and stuff too. So
Well, and you got they do shows on their patio too. You got just Josh and Round that does a bunch of stuff on their patio.
Ryan
and-
Torpia is out there all the time. Shout out to Torpia.
Joe Mancuso's
Did-
playing today, I think, actually.
Didn't Drew used to
Drew B.
manage their
Shafes has conducted an open mic at
yeah.
Alpha Brewing
And,
Company.
Drew
Drew Schaefer, for anyone who doesn't know.
They are they're really supportive of music here in St. Louis, and I think that's why they kind of, when we approached them about doing it, they were like, "No, that sounds like a great idea."
Yeah.
So big
And-
shout out to Derek Langeneckert.
Yeah.
He's the
Oh,
man.
yeah.
No, I mean he really without much cajoling at all, he was just very
board.
he was like let's do it.
Gotta give a big shout out to Dave Brown for all of his support of the
yeah.
local music community as well.
Yeah.
He's a reliable, trusty face at many an LS Express show.
Well,
So,
and
thanks,
not
Dave.
even just LS, but
Oh, definitely otherwise.
The scene.
yeah. But it was I do definitely credit Alpha for being just very like, yeah, let's do it. Like they didn't even hesitate. They just thought, let's
Do it.
make a beer. Like let's put your guys' name on a beer, and we're not even gonna pretend that you guys didn't have any input on it, even though you didn't. But
They knocked it out of the park. It is a tasty beverage. It looks great. The can looks great.
big shout out to my dad too, who helped me with the
Yeah.
with the design.
Thanks, Jerry.
He's the man.
Yeah, Jerry McCabe. He's the king of freelance. If
He
anyone
also
needs
designed
freelance.
Mr. Meatball.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
For anybody who's frequented, Pasta House,
He didn't design him. He created
he
him.
created Mr. Meatball and the Spaghetti
Yeah,
Gang.
my father created Mr. Meatball and the Spaghetti Gang. Yeah, so
It's a real honor. It is.
it really is. I am the son of a legend, and no one gives me credit for it.
Gotta love Jerry
I just
and Pasta House.
had a little flashback of when I used to get to work at the bar, and I've thrown people out, and they're like, "You know who my dad is?"
My dad designed Mr. Meatball.
No, man, I really don't
Look,
know
hold
who your
on.
dad is.
I was never that kid. I just want to tell you.
Right, but I just
never.
But
But my father's a very talented illustrator.
but I just
I
think
love
about-
you, Dad.
And he's
My
got a
dad-
great mustache.
My dad created Mr. Meatball. You show me some damn respect. So
You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right.
That's amazing.
but yeah.
What it's like? What's the His girlfriend is something ravioli. I can't remember.
Rita Ravioli.
Rita Ravioli or something like that. Yeah, no, I
Wow,
can't
that
remember.
was on call, Christo.
I like the pasta house.
Big fan. Big fan.
I like carbs.
No, but yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
We'll quit noodling around over here.
Yes.
oh, come on. I do love pasta.
That was for all of you pen appreciators back at home.
My mom made carbonara the other night, and she didn't tell me. I live like a mile from them, and I went over to their house the next night, and my dad told me that it was in the fridge, and I literally just walked out of the house with the leftovers.
I live 18 miles away, and I'd be pissed.
Yeah. I just walked out with it. It was fun. It's like, this is mine.
Well, it sounds like you guys, I mean, obviously it's been a long, difficult stretch for the summer and everything, but we got some things happening for the group. And so we're making the best of all this situation. And you can get involved. Like I said, we've talked about it a bunch, but getting plugged in with the band. Find Jesus Christ Supercar on your Facebook and Instagram. Get plugged in socially and get involved with the band. And check out the new music again, wherever you're getting your digital music at. If you haven't got the previous EP, it's out there and everything. So
Yeah, Post Madonna came out in May, and we worked really hard on that record, but
We're always looking to grow.
We're always looking to grow.
Gotta keep rolling.
Yep.
And that is a fun album. Do not get me wrong. I am
It is
so
a good
proud of that
time.
record. But we want to, with Turbo Diesel, we're going to spend some time on it. We're going to spend some actual time on it. And
We're
we're
gonna
going
make it right.
really lean into into what we want to do with it. And rather than just spending a day on each song, and rather than just sort of saying, this is what we got, this is what we're going to put out. It's going to be, the goal is to say, this is what we got, let's make it awesome. And you can hear Do You Think I Could, the first single off of it, on the 105.7 The Point's HD2 stream. They have an awesome channel. If you have a car, they can pick it up.
KDHX is also
KDHX
spinning it.
has been spinning it. I would love if anyone listening to this is gonna go spin it, and
Share with your buddies.
yeah, Supercar is a project that I genuinely very much love with two of my best friends, and being able to
Aw.
continue to.
Blows a kiss.
Oh, you guys were both in my fucking wedding. Come on.
That's true.
I don't know if I can swear on this podcast, but
Too late.
but it's this band. We love being in this band, and we want people to love listening to this band. And it's a fun project that we literally are creating songs that the goal is to make you dance and make you have a good time. And we can't do that as much because we're not able to play live. But if you want to support us, if you want to back us, if you want to be a part of our next record, check it out on Kickstarter. You can find links to it on our Instagram and our Facebook and our Twitter and everything.
We need you.
We need you because we can't afford to make this record without you because there's no way for us to make any money right now. But we love all of y'all, and we appreciate, especially to Shane, for having us on today.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks
Yeah,
again,
man.
Shane.
yeah, you guys keep bringing the dew. I'll keep bringing the mics, and we'll have.
We can make it happen.
I mean, I also love Mountain Dew, so
Nah, this is it's always fun getting to catch up with you guys, and I'm glad we can make this happen today. So,
Right on.
but yeah, I'll be tuning in Thursday night. Hopefully, I'll see Colin's boots on there on the stream,
you're
and
damn right you will.
yeah,
We'll get
We'll put
a moment. The stream will start off with a close up of Colin's.
We'll have one camera
in front
on
of the
it the entire
camera,
time.
just like and I'm doing the gesture now too, but just like
You can't see it, but it's very sensual.
directly placed in front of the camera, and then you'll get like a real glimmer of hope, I think, from
Hey.
You get to watch me fall
from
over
the,
as
from
I
the
put it
glitter
back on.
on Colin's shoes. So
But yeah,
All right. Well, thank you guys, and
Thank you.
we'll do this again in another 4 or 5 months or something like.
Yeah, hopefully.
So,
any
Yeah.
old time is
Yeah.
good by me.
there you go.
but yeah.
All
We
right.
are Jesus Christ Supercar. Thank you for tuning in to Rock Paper Podcast. I'm going to try that again. We are Jesus Christ Supercar. Thank you for turning to. Somebody else do it.
Damn it. We are Jesus Christ Supercar. Hold on. I'm going to put on my NPR voice.
Okay, my turn now.
No, hold on. We're doing NPR, so I have to do an NPR voice. My name is Colin McCabe. Thank you for tuning in to Rock Paper Podcast here on National Public Radio. This has been an interview with Jesus Christ Supercar featuring Christopher Bachman on guitar.
Hi.
Colin McCabe on bass and vocals and synthesizer, and Tom Blood on drums. They are a cool band from St. Louis, Missouri. We're here in St. Louis, Missouri, sitting next to a boat with Shane Presley, and this is
We love
our
you.
podcast. Sorry, I listened to too much NPR.
Tom, try. Let me.
It's Tom's turn. Yeah, give it a shot.
This has been a Rock Paper Podcast hosted by Shane Presley with Jesus Christ Supercar, a band from St. Louis, Missouri that Colin incorrectly said was currently operating out of St. Louis. We're in Belleville. Let's just clarify. Thank you.
We're sitting next to a boat.
That is true.
That is what I said.
The boat is in Belleville, Missouri.
I don't know if that's a place.
I don't think Belleville, Missouri exists, but Belleville, Illinois does.
All I'm going to say is oops. I was focusing too much on the voice. I forgot about the words.
Well, you got to use the words. Use your
That's
words.
true.
You're an adult.
I can do that.
Sound it out.
I will speak for all three of us when I say thank you for having us today, Shane.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. All right. That's a wrap.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.